Now we are going to create the or use the named query that we created in the class example table. So let's do this. Create named query. We can just give the name, or we can also pass the name of the class as a second parameter. The name of the named query is this one that we gave previous video, and we can also pass the name of the class for some extra typed query, because if you only pass the name of the named query it will send me it will return me an query without any type. So later on we will have to type it again. So this one actually returns a typed query that we'll have to store in another variable. Let's just give this class, and now it returns, as you can see here, a typed query of the type example table. So we can actually create a typed query of the type example table. Let's just name it example table query. There you go, and let's execute this query. eq dot get result list, okay, and it actually returns the list of example table, and this list is an util inside the Java package. So let's just create a list of example table. Let's name that list as example table list etl, and we need to include this package here, java.util. There it is included. Now we can actually traverse over this list via a for each loop, and we can create this example table is a single row of the table. So let's just print out the names, okay, just the names for now. Example table dot, here we will be making use of those getter and setter methods. This is the get name method, and it returns the string, and this method prints that string out. So it will be if on successful run, it will be like example 1, name 1, name 2, name 3, and something like that. So for now, let's just go to our persistence.xml. We will need to do some change here so we can run this program successfully. As you can see, we will be editing more. Just for now, let's just print out the exception. If an exception occurs, e dot, let's just print out e full object with all the details. Go to the persistence.xml file. Here we do need to change a lot of things, and for now I have made a few changes already. They are here. As you can see here, I have already done this because of saving time, and just to replay, I am going to explain what I have done here. I have changed this one here. I have added another attribute to this persistent unit alongside the name. It is like called the transaction type local resource, meaning that it will go through the local machine and local jar files to fetch this data. And this is the class, this is the name of the class. It is added into the persistence unit, and these are the few properties that are a must to actually communicate with the database in the back end. The first one is the driver. This is the driver class full qualified name of that class, and this is the path that we just created when creating the connection, and this is the MySQL port number, and this is the database name, and the password is empty, and the username is root. Let's just switch the places. Username first, then the password, first driver, then URL, then username, then password. And this one here, it is just the logging level. Fine means all the information that are necessary for the developer will be included. Fine means fine grain, mean all the nitty-gritty details will be included. For now, just we have to accept this one. This is the way of logging or seeing the query or the main SQL generated in the backend in the case of Eclipse Link implementation. And we may run this, still we will be actually getting an error. We have to run this and we will see the result in this console section. Click on this play button, this one here, and it is running the code, and here is the error. Java X persistence, the persistence exception, Eclipse persistence auto, and there's something a bit, and it's a database exception, and it is telling us that the column name for auto is being default to name auto. It's okay. These are just logs. These are not the problem. The problem actually caused here, and this problem is that it is that this driver is not found, this class is not found, because we actually shown the path to it, but haven't included in the class path of this project. So right click on this project folder, go to build class path. Okay, just go to properties and then go to Java build path, and then go to the libraries. Here we do need to include an external jar, and that is this one here, the MySQL connector J. This is also on the same path that we just showed to the connector while setting up the project. It didn't include it by default because of this expects it may come from another source or from online. That is why we mentioned that we were actually using all local resources, so we have to include it here in the persistence.xml file. We mentioned that we are actually doing transaction type all of the local resources, so database is in the local machine. Okay, now we can actually hopefully run the project without any error. Click on the play button and it's executing, and there you go. It showed a lot of information to us. Let us just see the information for now. This is the fine grain logging information that Eclipse Link gives us, and here is the connection system and database login, the platform, MySQL platform username is root, this is the URL, and this is the whole username for full username actually, and this is the driver that actually found, and then this is the result. If we actually comment out that line, all this information won't be present here. It may be a bit clearer. Here is the query that was sent to the database. Select ID, name and role from example table. Okay, let's dig a bit deep into it in our next video, and we will see what happens if we comment it out and a bit more test out the code. Thank you.